How you doing, everybody? Oh, you can't cough around here without somebody thinking you got the coronavirus. Corona, he got that Rona. Man, go sit down somewhere. I know the view may be kind of weird, but I'm in I can say a weird situation, but I needed someone to put my phone so I don't have to hold it, so I won't be shaking and stuff because I'm going to be talking for a while. Because I got to go back in the past so you can understand the future events of what's going on right now. But oh my God, I have a powerful testimony for you all. To all my brothers and sisters out there who have supported me through this ordeal and prayer and whatever means God has put into your heart. I thank you, brother Julio, brother Delphine Clark, minus what we already know, everything else that you have done in regards to prayer, just being there supportively for my family. Anybody else that I haven't mentioned, Sister Liz, y'all make sure y'all pray for Sister Liz Bryant, another sister in Christ out here, doing her thing for the Lord. Y'all make sure y'all pray for them. If there's anybody else, Sister Brenda up in New York, if you're watching this video, anybody else that I'm not remembering right now, I haven't forgotten about you, but these are people I have spoken to recently, so thank you. Thank you. Anybody that has been praying, and for those who are going to pray after this video, and those who have been continuing to pray, I thank you again in the Lord Jesus Christ. So, let's go to the future, then we'll go back to the past. Where am I right now? Right now, I'm in between Birmingham, somewhere a little bit outside of Birmingham. And my RV is broke down, but we're going to get to that. How did I end up here? Well, a few years ago, like 1 or 2 years ago, I was getting tired of what I was doing. And for those who don't know, I'm self-employed. I've been self-employed for 12 plus years. I've had a cleaning contract doing the cleaning for the American Legion in my state, or my used to be state. It's not my state anymore because I'm moving. That I stayed in my state of residence, Georgia, Columbus, Georgia, post 267. I was doing that for 12 plus years. The last 2 years of me doing it, I was getting tired of it. I was just tired of it. I didn't really want to do it anymore. So toward the last 6 months, 6 to 7 months, I started to start new businesses. The book business, I started that while I was buying. I started out slow, and then I started buying books in bulk. They call them gaylords. Yeah, it's a measurement of units. That's what they call them. And it's pretty much a big old pallet of books. You get a pallet of books in the city that I was staying in, Columbus, Georgia, for about $50. So in this gaylord, it's probably like 1,000 books. Some of them are going to be duds. Some of them, are going to be worth something. I haven't even sorted through all the books. Some of you know this because of the previous videos that I did showing all those books. So I had about 2,000 books plus the books that I had already been purchasing to sell. So that was my book business, or is my book business. I'm still doing it, but I can't do it right now because we're moving. And then I really started to ramp up my eBay business, selling purses, clothes, stuff like that, get them from Goodwill, turn around, flip them. You know how it goes. Got on Amazon, started building that right before I was about to leave my job. So I went in there and talked to the manager, and I told him, like, hey, this is going to be my last month. My last month was April 1st. So I had 2 more checks to receive, but everything got shut down with the coronavirus. So I already knew when it hit. My wife told me, she was like, so that's it, you're not going back. I'm like, yeah, you're right. So when I realized that I wasn't going to go back because of the coronavirus thing, I really wasn't worried about it because I was actually relieved, like, thank you, I ain't got to go. I started to really ramp up my my book business and also my eBay business, stuff like that, just growing it more and more. And I already had it. I already had stuff listed on my eBay business, but when the whole coronavirus thing popped off, it took off. It took off like boom, boom, sales every day, like 10, 15 sales and everything. So some of you know this because I've been talking to you about it and everything. But for those who don't know, I'm just giving you a little background so you understand the story. So when I make a point, you're not like, what's he talking about? So yeah, the eBay business was jumping because of the coronavirus thing. Aloe vera gel, we were already selling that on our store. We were already selling healthcare stuff because we're big on health, taking care of this temple while you're in it. Even though we know that it is what it is, but doesn't mean that we can just eat how we want to, drink what we want to, and not take care of this temple that we are in for the time being. Because if you don't take care of it, then you're most likely going to always be sick. And then how can you do things for the Lord with full power if your power is being taken to fight the sickness? But for those of us who are in Christ, we know these things, and that's just how we live. So we decided we wanted to get out of Dodge, as they say, before they started to shut the borders down. Some of you know about all this stuff. Shut down the borders, shut down the states. We didn't know if they were going to shut down all 50 or if they're just going to shut down certain ones. So we pretty much had already had everything packed up. Was packing up everything, so we ramped it up and got everything done. And went to go get some gas in the RV. Filled it up, and then it was leaking. So I'm like, dang. My wife said, hey, it's leaking on here. Is that water? I thought it was water. She said, I know it's not gasoline, is it? So I went under there. I said, no, that's water. That's water. So I went under there and I touched it. And I'm like, and this is gasoline. So I'm looking like, dang, this thing leaking gas. We ain't going nowhere. Not at least in this. The RV wasn't going to stop us from going. So she bagged it back into a place where it was it wasn't out of traffic, but out the way of other people. And I looked under there. I said, this looked like a pretty easy fix. It just had 2 lines on this side, 2 lines on that side, and it's like a little black thing with a little screw-on nozzle, screws on like that. I'm like, oh, that's easy. I can do that. And it had 2 screws on the back side. So I'm like, I'm gonna go get this part. I'm gonna check everything else and see how it goes. So couldn't find the part, and so I was like, okay, it's not anything mechanical. So I should be able to bypass it. So I got 2 of the clear fuel filters. Some of you know about this. I got 2 of them. And then I cut the lines and everything. And then I hooked the fuel filters up and everything. I crunk it up and it was running. No leaks and nothing like that. But it wasn't getting enough gas, so it wasn't staying running. And then I realized what the thing actually was. It's a reservoir. It keeps the gas in it because the dang RV is so big to make sure the gas gets up there on demand and stuff like that. So pretty much what I did, I was choking the engine from getting gas. And so the Spirit led me, said, check that gasket. So I screwed it off, and it, like I said, just screws off. It's like a little cup like that, and it just screws off, and it has not the cup, but it has a stick or a tube that sits in the cup, and then the tube sucks the gas up. So the gas comes in, it fills up the reservoir, and then it sucks it up, and then it goes to the engine. For those who are not mechanically inclined. Pretty simple setup. So I took the cap off and I checked it because God led me to check the O-ring. I said, check and see if the thing has an O-ring. Because some of them do. I've seen stuff like that. It has an O-ring and some of them don't because it's self-sealing. And so I looked and I took my little pick tool and I'm like, and lo and behold, the plastic or the rubber that was in there, it was dry rotted. So you really couldn't tell. You really couldn't tell it was in there and whatnot. But it was in there. It was just dry rotted. And so I was like, dang, I said, this is probably what was causing it to leak. It was leaking past the O-ring. So I went to the parts store again after I already went like 3 or 4 times. And I know they didn't have that O-ring, because they didn't have the part itself. And so I got some help from one of the guys, and we found a universal pack of O-rings for universal pack for different purposes. And lo and behold, one of the packs that Had O-rings, it had one that fit pretty much perfectly. So I'm like, yeah, go back, screw it on there, and boom, it seals. It seals good. It has a nice, tight seal. So then I had to take what I already did apart and then connect lines back to the original part. So I'm like, double work, double work. So I fixed it up, I primed it 3 times. I'm helping some of y'all out for those who don't know this, because you may need this. To prime a fuel pump or anything dealing with the fuel after you have released the pressure, you turn your key over, don't crank it, turn it off, turn the key over again, not meaning like you're gonna crank it, but just to the like ACC where all your lights and stuff are on. You do that 3 times, then the fuel system is pretty much, it builds up the pressure. And then you crank it. So I do that, boom, turn it on, it cranks right up. I let it run for about 15-20 minutes just to make sure there was no leaks. And boom, there was no leaks, nothing was wrong. Nothing was wrong. So we go to the U-Haul place to get the tow dolly that we needed to tow the van that we have, which is what I'm currently in. Then we go back to the house to get our U-Haul, which has all of our stuff, which is majority my business, or I should say our business, my wife and I, that we do together, to get our business, because majority of the stuff we have is the books and everything, to hit the road. So I'm following her, we're rolling. We got a full tank of gas, we finna hit the road, we rolling. We drove about, I'm gonna say 3.5, 4 hours maybe, because we got to drive a little bit slower because we got those gigantic tanks and everything. No problems, nothing. And it was like, I'm gonna say like 1 o'clock in the morning. We stopped somewhere in Alabama to get some gas. She turned it off. I filled it up, checked the straps and everything, made sure the vehicles were secure. Had one issue with one strap, so the Lord was looking out with that. But that was an oversight on the U-Haul place. So y'all make sure y'all check that stuff, because one of them straps that pretty much came off, and that could have been disastrous. But the vehicle was still secure with the other strap and everything. So when I tell you that God was all over the situation, we just so happened to stop at the right time. And every time we stop, I make sure I check those straps and everything. And one of the straps wasn't even on holding the tire on. So yeah, it's just crazy, just crazy. You may say, well, dang, it seems like that you shouldn't have left. I thought about that. I did. Because, I prayed about it and everything. I was like, Lord, if you don't want us to move, then, hey, let me know. So, yeah, you could have took that. I could have took that. Anybody could have took that as a sign like, maybe it's not meant for us to go. Because that's what majority of people would have said. If something doesn't go right, then they say, oh, it's not meant to happen. But you got to remember, when you are in ministry and you're doing things for the Lord, there's always going to be what we call stumbling blocks. If something is purpose for you to do, then you can't sit here and say that, oh, I'm not going to do this, or it's not meant to happen, if you know for sure that this is purpose for you to do. God never said, no, you ain't supposed to go, you ain't supposed to move. Because if that was the case, he would have gave the indications way before. He wouldn't have waited until, the little reservoir thing is leaking. Now you shouldn't go. Like, well, you see God doing stuff like that. Even think about when the prophet was going to do wickedness. God warned him before that several times not to go do what he's going to do. And then he had something drastic happen with the donkey talking, the ass, it says, talking. And he still pretty much end up doing it. So we got to understand how God works. In regards to mankind, God can work how he wants to, but he works with us a certain way because he knows what we are and who we are and how we're going to receive things, right? So I know somebody's going to say, like, man, shoot, that was me. I would have just set my butt down, But like I said, when you know what you know, then you understand that things are going to happen. And if you got to think about it, when you're on your journey somewhere, there are always going to be trials and tribulations. They can be big or they can be small. And everything that I was going through, that we went through as a family, more so my my wife and myself, because I got small children. They're not studying that, and it's not really none of their business, none of their responsibility. When you're in situations like that, there are going to be trials and tribulations. They're gonna test you to help you grow. And this is everything that transpired. That's all it was for me, and also for the person that God sent. So I'm gonna kind of give it away to y'all. This whole situation, everything that was happening, God was working to put me in the path of one individual to minister to them. And I hope I cry so many times just thinking about it. So if I cry again, then I'm not gonna be ashamed for crying or whatnot. So I'm just giving y'all a heads up. Let me also add this: when you're doing the will of God, be careful what you pray for, because my prayer is, Lord, wherever you want me to go, whatever you want me to do, whatever the situation, I'm ready. But you got to be ready, because if you're saying that, then God may very well put you in a situation, and then what are you going to do? You're going to fall apart. Because a lot of people, they probably, man, RV broke down, man, this is cussing and fussing, this and that. But through the whole ordeal, through the Spirit, I was calm. My wife, since she was being a woman, because of this situation, which I'm going to oh my God, I'm going to get to. I ain't told you nothing yet. But hey, we made it through it. We're still making it through it. So we stopped and got some gas. I was checking everything, fixed what I needed to fix, checked the other vehicle, it was secure. Crunked the RV back up, it was fine, running fine, wasn't no skipping, wasn't no, it sounded like it about to turn off, nothing like that. Boom, we hit the road. She gets on the highway and she's like, what's wrong with this RV? RV would not go over 15 to 20 miles per hour. We're going to say 25. So I'm like, dang, maybe, it's in that reservoir didn't fill up or whatever, which it should have, because we was on level ground. But, because the ramp was up or whatever, I'm like, maybe that was the case. So we got off, found some flat ground and everything, checked and everything. We're checking the fluids and stuff like that. I'm like, put it in park and everything. It was running fine. It wasn't skipping, nothing like that. So we hit the road again, doing the same thing. She's like, oh my God, this is crazy. We're just we're driving fine, no issues, no problems at all, absolutely no problem. We were rolling. So this is how you know when God was already stepping in. But this right here, he said, okay, this is the time. Boom. So we checked it one more time. I think we checked like 3 times. I'm like, well, since it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, we just gonna roll. We're gonna put the hazards on. We just gonna roll 15 to 20, whatever speed she can go. Because if she's going up the hill, that thing was, she couldn't go no faster than 20 miles because she was losing speed. And the area that we was in, it was like, woo, it was like hills and everything. So when she go up the hill, she was doing like 15, 20 miles. Then she go down the hill, then she catch some speed to hit the hill again. Yeah, it was crazy. So I don't know how long we did that. But we was on the phone the whole time. And I'm like, we just gonna make it as far as we can. Hey, ain't no traffic, so we good or whatever. I was like, we gonna make it. We gonna get close to making it, and then we can park the RV, get our stuff, and then we can always come back and get it, get it fixed or whatnot. That was the game plan. But they say you plan, but God's plans, God can still work with your plans, but hey, His plan is greater. We know that. So we had a great idea, and oh my God, it was a spirit. I was like, hey, you think we should take the back roads? Because the back roads may be a little bit more clear. They may be a little bit more flat. So that let us coast a little bit more. But I ain't gonna say it was a bad idea, but the back roads weren't what we expected. So we was going back and forth and everything, and we hit the back roads. And my God, I don't know what GPS was doing, but it had to be God, because I said it because when it was daytime and I was checking out some of the roads that they had, I'm like, why the GPS didn't take me on this road right here? So like God was like, no, send them here on this tight road, in the country where ain't no lights, and it's in the darkness, like you can almost feel it. You don't know what's out there. It was that type of environment or whatnot. We going through the back roads and everything, and I'm like, she like, you know what? We both like, hey, let's get back on the highway. Let's get back on the highway. And mind you, this whole time the RV is getting worse. It's getting worse. And so we made it to this one hill, and I don't know how to explain this road. It was like around a little curve. It had some woods right here, had a little creek. We didn't know what was on the other side. Then it had some some houses. It was some houses or whatever, but they were like kind of like back off over there a little bit, whatnot. But when I said it was dark, it was dark. It was dark. So we're going up the hill, and the RV is like it was possessed, like like it was just throwing up blood, and that's the best way I can describe it. It was lurking and jerking so bad, and mind you, we got a van pulling it and everything, so you see the RV like that in the van, and then I'm on the phone with my wife, and she's like, come on, Jesus, come on, Jesus, come on, Jesus. She's sitting there praying, and I'm sitting there like, Jesus. I'm not praying what, but at the same time, I'm thinking like, it's dead. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's done. It's done, data. But at the same time, I'm like, Jesus, come on, I'm not coming through. But at the same time, I'm like, man, she was praying hard because she's not want to get stuck out there in the middle of nowhere. We didn't know where we was at, and everything at 1-2 o'clock in the morning. So it eventually gave out. She put it in park, and I said, maybe if we take the van off, then that would take some of the weight off, and then we can pull it up. We can drive up the hill, and then we'll drive it up, and then we'll fix it later. As far as get the van back on that, because we just want to get back on the highway. So the children that are in the RV sleep. We have our niece with us also, because her dad stays in Arkansas, so we were taking her to Arkansas also, and we still are because she's still with us. So I need my wife to help me get the van off of the tow dolly. My wife, she ain't good with stuff like that. She'll tell you. So she kind of like being a woman, like kind of like freaking out, but not freaking out. And she running back and forth because she didn't know if the RV was going to roll back, because we kept on trying to crank it and everything. It crumped, but as soon as we put it in gear, this time it's like making all type of noises, misfiring, and everything. So she put it in park, or whatnot. But since she was a woman, she was kind of like running back and forth, like, the RV, I don't want to roll back. My husband is, I'm in the van. And so the RV rolls back, obviously that would be a disaster. So she, running back. I'm like, calm down. Like, I'm sitting around, I'm looking at her, like, calm down. Remember, you got to trust in the Lord. And everything. So I'm speaking to her, whatnot. I said, I need your help. I cannot get this van off of here without you, because if this van is not lined up and it falls off these ramps, I said, that's a wrap. We're going to be in a worse situation than what we are. So we eventually got the van off, and then we moved it, and then it still wouldn't go. Crank it up. Now the RV wouldn't even crank. So we were thinking, well, maybe it's because it's on this hill. So I took the tow dolly off and moved it to the side of the road. And I'm thinking like, man, this thing don't crank. I gotta move all this stuff. I said, I can't leave these people tow dolly out here. They're gonna bust my head. Everything. So I got so many things I'm thinking about, right? We rolled the RV back. It's like a little hill, so it's rolling back. She's guiding me. And there was some mailboxes. This is how you know, when I say God was all over this, he was all over it. There was some mailboxes, right? She said, there's some mailboxes here, so gotta make sure we clear them. Make sure we turn around. So we rolled them back, and she's guiding me and everything. And then right when we got almost to level ground, the way I was turning it, I couldn't turn it no more to get it out the road because of the mailboxes. So you got the mailboxes here, and then the RV was like right here, but half of the RV was in the, on the side of the road, and then the other half was in the street, because we have a 26-foot RV. So it wasn't a long daddy, but it was long enough. So we're like, oh my God. Mind you, traffic comes around there, and they be coming, they can come kind of fast and everything. It's a back road, but it's still a lot of traffic that goes through, because I remember, because I've seen traffic coming through. So I'm thinking like, oh my God, somebody hits this RV. That's a done data. I didn't want nobody to hit this RV, but there was nothing I could do. It was, I don't know what time it was, around this time or whatnot. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna get y'all to safety, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna, get this tow dolly and everything. So I was trying to figure out where to go. And I was like, we'll just go to the nearest U-Haul, because, if we need to drop this stuff off, then we can drop it off, and then, we can just keep on moving and whatnot. So I make it to the nearest U-Haul, and that was a drive and everything. We had to stop and get some gas, and there was on the gas station, it was weird, because I looked at the sign, they had this, the typical devil face with the horns. I'm like, it was weird, we in a town that's didn't realize at the time, but it predominantly what we call white, predominantly white. And so we make it to the U-Haul, and so I'm on the phone with U-Haul seeing what they can do, but they couldn't help me, because their services, it covered the tow dolly, but it didn't cover the actual RV. Because I was trying to get towed, but the guy helped me out and everything, but we couldn't get anybody to tow it. So I had to get the tow dolly, because remember, I took it off because the tow dolly was attached to the RV. So we was at the U-Haul. I took the auto transporter that I had for my car, took it off the U-Haul, and then they went to sleep. They were pretty much sleeping and everything. I told them what I'm about to go do. I said, hey, I may not be back until the morning time. Stay here. So when this place opens up, then, you can tell them the situation. So boom, I'm heading back to the place. Now, it took longer to get there. Well, to get out of there, it took like 15 minutes. But the road, I guess, GPS, say GPS was God. But it's like, when I went back the second time, it was faster to get there. So it's like, dang, why it took me so long to get out here the first time, when I could have just spent 5 minutes instead of 15 to 20 minutes to get out there. But again, it was all the Lord. It was all the Lord. Because when I got back to the place where the RV was, like I said, it took like 5 minutes. And so I pulled up I pulled the road some, I was still on the hill, and I put my hazards on. And the U-Haul guys calling me, traffic is coming through, there was already trucks behind me and everything. And I'm like, man, I hope nobody don't hit this RV. So I'm like, I need to get this RV unlocked to put the hazards on, and put one of them, little triangles that, that reflect or whatever, emergency triangles things. I need to put one of these out here, so nobody hits this RV, and I don't want my RV hit. I don't want anybody to hit it and get hurt. So I got my blinkers on the U-Haul going, so they could see that. U-Haul guy calls me. I'm trying to put the tow dolly back on the U-Haul and everything or whatnot, and I'm up a hill, so I'm like trying, pulling it and everything. I finally got it on there. The U-Haul guy said it's pretty much nothing he can do, nothing they can do. He tried and everything, which I thank him for his help, so God bless him. I got it hooked up, then I had to go down and turn around, because the road was so tight you couldn't turn around with that. If you did, you would have been in the ditch. That would have been bad. So I turned it around, and then put my hazards on again, and then I got the RV situated in regards to turning the hazards on, and putting those little triangle things. I forgot what they call it, but some of you know what I'm talking about. They reflect, so people know that something is going on. Did all that, and I forgot what I was doing. At this time, it had to be like, oh my God, like 4 4 o'clock in the morning, maybe 4, I don't know, 5 o'clock in the morning. I had been up for more than 24 hours. I was running up at the hill because it was maybe like 2.5 football fields from where the RV was where we had parked, distance wise, where the U-Haul was. So I'm running up and down the hill like, because I had to run back and forth and whatnot. Oh yeah, we had to get the children out. The children were in the RV too. They were in the RV the whole time. We had to get them out the RV, put them in the van and everything. So I had to, run up the hill, and then I forgot my keys, so I had to run back down, then to get everything situated so they would have room. I had to get the van. I drove the van down the hill, and then to go back. It was crazy. It was crazy. Like I said, it was dark. I got my flashlight on my phone. I'm looking around, making sure, man, these woods, I don't know what's gonna come out of here. What's going on. But like I said, it was like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I don't know what time it was. It just seemed like everything happened so fast, and it was all just runs together. But a lady named Angela, Lord willing, I will never forget this lady's name. And it was a white lady. So for all the black people, the white man isn't the white man that, and the white man isn't the white man that. Just white people just, I can't stand none of them. Ain't no what we call white people gonna help and do this, do that. The Bible said that God will make you at rest and at peace with even your enemies, even your enemies will give you respect and look out for you and whatnot, because they will realize who you are. They will realize the spirit. Now, I'm not saying this woman was my enemy. She was my enemy in regards to the gospel. But that woman helped me. White woman. And I made statements before where it's like, yeah, I've had more white people help me out than I've had black people overall. And people looked at me sideways when I made a statement like that. What I got going on in my life, what God has done in my life, let me explain something to you. Y'all know I'm a man's man. This is my testimony. Staying focused for Jesus is my testimony. Staying focused for Jesus is me. It just happens to be called Staying Focused for Jesus. The gospel according to Kelson King. As long as the gospel that I'm giving and everything that I go through doesn't contradict the true gospel, then you can't come against something that I'm telling you that I've went through. My story. It's my testimony in regards to what Christ has done in my life, my family life, and those around. The gospel according to Matthew, the gospel according to Mark, the gospel according to Luke, the gospel according to John, the gospel according to Kelson King, the gospel according to insert your name. So if I'm saying that more white people have helped me out in different situations than black people, then who are you to say that I'm wrong on that? This is my story, my testimony. Maybe in your story, it hasn't been that way. So I can't come in and say, you're wrong for that. I just want to make sure I clarify that, because I know I got black people listening like, white people, man. See, that's why I'm not like that. Now, if I probably was like that, then God wouldn't have even sent no help. God sent what we call a Gentile to help me. A Gentile woman to help me at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning with a black man in the middle of the night by himself. Yeah, so what you got to say about that? So this lady, Angela, she was in a old school Ford Explorer. She pulls up, she's like, you all right? Asks me, I'm like, yeah, my RV, broke down and everything. I had my family and stuff in it. Traveling from Georgia, to keep her calm. And then I said, I'm a pastor, traveling from Georgia to Arkansas. Now RV broke down. And I don't know where we're at and everything. And so she was like, you need any help? Anything I can do? I said, we're just trying to get I'm really trying to get a tow. At this time, when I say we, I mean my family, but my family is at the U-Haul location now. They're asleep, so it's just me. I'm like, I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna get the thing towed, because I don't want to leave it in the middle of the street and stuff like that. So she pulls up, you know, at first she was from a distance, she pulls up and she was like, so I'll be able to help you out and everything. So she's in the car the whole time, and you know, we're talking and stuff like that. And she starts calling people. And she's the one that got the tow truck that was needed, because the tow truck to tow I'm not U-Haul, but an RV is the same one that's used to tow an 18-wheeler. Yeah. So you just can't call anybody to come and get it. So I don't know if the people had that or not. I didn't know how much it was going to cost me. Yeah, it cost me a little bit of money, but it could have been worse, put it like that. All this stuff was unexpected, but it's the whole time I'm trusting the Lord. I'm not stressing out. I'm not panicking. I'm like, Lord, you know, I trust you. I trust you, because me getting irritated and me getting frustrated and me, you know, all that, what is that going to help? You see, you can give power to all that, or you can walk in the power that you're claiming. I ain't saying that you're not allowed to get upset or get frustrated in certain situations, because we all do it. But I couldn't let that consume me, because guess what? It would have been affecting my wife. My wife would have saw it, and then God, he was like, you know what? Since you want to act like that, then I'm gonna make you wait a little bit longer. So through the whole ordeal, I'm cool, calm, and collected. It's gonna get handled. God got it. We gonna handle it. Hey, even we were already in the mindset. I'm in the mindset. If we gotta leave the RV, come back and get it, it's gonna be handled. We good. We ain't studying no RV. We had to lose the RV, leave it there. We lost our house on wheels. It is what it is. God give, God take away, and God can give again. You know what I'm saying? So you know, let's speak on that for a little bit. You can't be so tied up to physical possessions that God may have a better physical possession for you. I'm gonna give you something that everybody can relate to. You can't be so tied up into a physical being, one individual that you love so much, or you think you love, and you know you ain't supposed to be with them, that you don't put yourself in a position to receive that true physical blessing, that man or woman that God has for you, because you don't want to let go of that curse that you're holding on to. Some of you are in relationships, you're with a person that you're being cursed. You're bringing more curses upon you, because that person themselves, they are a curse to you. And you wonder why you got these different things happening in your life that you're like, man, where this come from? Because you have attached yourself to a curse in the form of a person. And so God can't give you the blessing in the form of a person, because you're holding on to this curse in the form of a person. Come on. They say, come on, church. Come on. Preach, King. Preach, Brother King. Some people say that I'm being funny. But yeah, so this lady pulls up, and you know, she's calling people, and she eventually got somebody to come get it and everything, and they towed it to a place where it's currently still being fixed. I figured it might have been the fuel pump, and that's what they pretty much tell me. The fuel pump, they had to drop the tank. They changed out the fuel pump. They changed the fuel filter. And they said that there may be a hole in the line, because it was sucking in air, which was causing it to do what it was doing. So instead of sucking in the gas, it was sucking in more air, so it was hard to breathe. So getting back to the good part, this lady named Angela, right? I'm explaining my situation to her. I tell her, just to make it more comfortable, my pastor from Georgia was traveling to Arkansas. She was like, Arkansas? Wow. Like, yeah, blase, just having conversation, trying to make her feel comfortable. Before I go into what happened between me and her, I'm going to go ahead and bring it all together. Everything that happened, remember I was telling you the RV was running fine. Yeah, they already had problems, but God could have shown me those problems before, right? The RV gave no indication that it was gonna give out. Gave no indication that it was gonna give out. Because obviously, if it gave some type of indication, I went to school for mechanical work. I would have been like, no, we might want to wait to see what's going on. But it gave absolutely no indication it was giving out. And like I said, we drove it for 4.5 hours. No indication. Everything that happened with the RV, the timing, with me leaving my contract, everything going back from years and years and years. God knew that we were going to be moving. He knew all this, right? Everything happened with the RV. I keep on saying that. With us being stuck, us getting off the highway, us stopping at the gas station that we happened to stop at, which caused us to drive super slow for an extended period of time until we got to the point where we're like, let's get off the highway and take these back roads. And then the RV ended up breaking down on one of these back roads that we had no idea where we was at. All that happened so I could minister to Angela, that one lady. All that happened so I could minister to that one lady. You tell me that. We talk about how powerful God is. That's why I said you got to be careful what you pray. Because I pray, Lord, send me so I can be used. Send me to the people so I can minister. Whatever you want me to go through, Lord, I go through it so I can preach to them, so I give them the message. Okay, you sure about that? Okay, we finna put that to the test. Because, you got the demons and, Satan like, yeah, he talking good, Lord, but what happens if you allow his RV to break down in the middle of nowhere? Because the crazy thing is this. Some of you know this because I said it. I was joking about it. I think I said to Brother Julio. I think I said to you, Brother Julio. I said, I was joking about it, like, yeah, man, we're gonna leave at a certain time or whatnot, because, hey, man, I ain't trying to be broke down one of these little country towns, in the middle of nowhere. I said that several times. I did not want that to happen. I did not want it to happen. I did not want to, if anything happened, to break down. I more so said I didn't want to break down to Mississippi. But this is a town that was predominantly white. We didn't know that until, when it got daylight and we were in the city and stuff like that. And we saw the people like, man, this is like 1950s or whatever. It was just like, the town was that small. The town was that small. But there was also some, it was people looking at us crazy or whatever, because obviously we're black. And they could probably tell that, hey, we're not from here. So some people were looking like, but other white people were like, hey, how you doing? One white guy, I had to check something in the trailer. I had called him over there because he was in the truck. I said, excuse me, so I can ask you a question. So we were talking and everything. And I shook his hand like, hey, is it okay if I shake your hand? I know the coronavirus, going around. I shook his hand, man to man. I just respect. I'm not studying no coronavirus. If I get the coronavirus from shaking somebody's hand, then, it was worth it. I know this is crazy. If I get the coronavirus from shaking somebody's hand that took their time out to help a black man in a predominantly, you can probably tell, a racist white town that don't have a lot of black people, probably got a handful of them, and majority of people that probably don't, fool with black people, because you can just tell. If I get coronavirus from shaking his hand to thank you for helping me out, then okay, I got it. I'm gonna die. Okay, I'm dead. I'm already died. I've already died. So I'm gonna study that, man. And my God is greater than some coronavirus. He sent the coronavirus. Rather it comes from the outside or comes from the inside, or both. So yeah. Where was that? I'm telling Angela my story and everything, and then she starts to tell me her story. Starts telling me some things she went through in life. She was saying how she was in the church building. She said when she was in the church building and everything, like, obviously she doesn't have all the answers. She don't know what we know, whatever. So give her some grace. I told her, like, well, she was saying that her being in the church, she was at peace and everything. Her life was just in a better place. And she was in the drugs and everything. She still might be in the drugs and stuff like that, some other stuff, but I wasn't judging her in regards to condemning her. This woman was telling me her story. I told her my story. She told me her story. She was confiding in me as, I guess as her pastor right then. I mean, think about it, I guess I was her pastor. I was telling her, like, church is in the inside. And she was like, yeah. She was like, I need to get back. I need to get back. I need to get back to God. And I backslid. I'm out here doing stuff I know I ain't got no business. She was just pouring everything out into me. And then, as she was talking at this time, it's daylight. That shows you how long, I went through this whole ordeal. And she said that she wasn't leaving until somebody showed up to tow that truck. Now, how many people you know are going to do that? How many white people you know they're going to do that? For those of you who are anti-white, I hate every white person on God's green earth. They're all, you know what I'm saying? So you're going to say that a woman, or even if it was a man, somebody that stayed out there in the middle of the night with a black man in the middle of the morning, right before the break of dawn, and she literally waited until the tow truck came to tow it. You gonna say that you hate her too? If that person was helping you? Like, come on, man. Let's be real. You gonna say that God didn't send that person? Who sent her? The devil? You gonna say it was the devil? So if God sent that woman to help me, then, and I ministered to her, then what you gonna say about that? But y'all want to say, oh, white people can't be saved and all the other garbage. So white people can't be saved, then why did I preach to her? Why did God send her for me to preach to her? Because the whole situation happened so that I could meet that woman right there at that time. And then the crazy thing was, when we started, when I was preaching to her, we started praying and everything, it was right before the break of dawn, before the rise of the sun. It was this happened on a like, gee, it's right around Easter. Think about that. Right around Easter. And actually, we know that we don't fool with Easter, but y'all get what I'm saying. In regards to resurrection, I know the resurrection of Christ ain't got nothing to do with Easter, and the actual resurrection is before what they call Easter resurrection. I know that, but understand what I'm saying. The time frame. All this is here. And then the sun is coming, because I realized, I'm like, dang. I said, we're here together, and right before daybreak, dawn break. So, like I said, she's telling me her story. I'm telling her mine. I'm preaching to her, I'm ministering to her, and the Spirit let me, like, you want to pray? So she's like, oh yeah. So we come over, like in the middle street, but not in the middle street, because people had to slow down anyway to get around the RV. So she comes over there, and we lock hands, and I pray. When I say the Spirit was moving, I felt the power of God just the Spirit was just manifesting so powerful through me, just touching her. And I was praying against everything that she was dealing with, praying against unclean spirits, just praying different things for her as I was being led by the Spirit and what was in my heart. And we prayed, and I gave her a hug. She gave me a hug, and the tow truck hadn't come yet, so we were praying. Cars were coming. I didn't care about the cars. I was praying. I hope they heard us, and I hope they seen it. I hope they seen it. They should have probably stopped and said, "Hey, let me get some of that. Let me get some of that right there," because the Spirit was giving out. Whoever wanted it, come get it. So the Spirit was so powerful. Hey, it probably touched them that was passing too. Just like them bones in the Bible, the bones. It was so anointed, the bones, and hey, he was dead. He was dead. I'm alive. So this is the power that we have, those of us who are true believers. So walk in that power, and let's glorify the Lord Jesus Christ for what he has given us. So after that, we had a little bit more conversation. We just talking different things. I just continued to minister to her. The Spirit led me and everything. She was telling me about her relationship, some of the things that happened when she was younger. I'm not going to get into that. Just so many things in such a short period of time. And I said what I need to say to her, and then eventually the tow truck came and towed the RV. I followed him, and we embraced one more time. I gave her a hug. She gave me a hug. And I thanked her. She thanked me, and I told her I would be continuing to pray for her. And the moment where I had, just thinking about right now, I'm trying not to cry. As I'm ministering to her, just like, boom. Oh my God. All this happened because of you. And I remember telling her that, like, what if all this happened? You just happened to come. I think I said, what if I said, this all happened for us to meet up? Because you needed his word. And maybe I needed something from her also. More humility, more humbleness. We can always use more of that. And in the midst of that situation, like I said, that's where it hit me. It hit me that everything that I was going through was for my faith to be tested that much more. to be forged that much more, to trust in the Lord that much more. Because I've been claiming that. I've been claiming it. You know, say you claim it. I've just been claiming it. I'm claiming. I know it's true. God got me. Even before we hit the road, and I was, you know, I'm about to leave my contract. I'm about to move to a whole different city that I really don't want to, you know, what I'm saying, go to. It's a cool little city, but hey, you know, what I'm saying, I'm a give me that heat. You know, Arkansas, they get all 4. I don't really deal with that cold. Now, I ain't really want to do that, but you know, the situation, you know, calls for it right now. And starting a new business, like, Lord, I'm not gonna be making the same money I was making. Then, you know, things are gonna change, but at the same time, like, you know, I trust in you, Lord. You brought me this far. I'm gonna continue to trust in you. I'm gonna continue to trust in you. I'm gonna continue to trust in you. Whatever it is, Lord, I'm gonna continue to trust in you. And I did. So, okay, if you really trust me, let's put it on display, because everybody watching. Remember the Bible said that even the angels are watching everything that's being played out. So I continue to trust in him throughout all that. And the most beautiful thing about all that is me being able to minister and to pray for that lady in the middle of the street. I didn't care. I didn't care who saw it. I'm like, let's pray. Spirit led me, like, ask her to pray. She was ready to pray too. And we prayed, and like I said, everything that happened, y'all, you don't understand. You gotta really understand. We ain't talking about just this one event. We talking about events in the past, years ago. At least 2 years. We know it's before that, because we know how God works. But at least 2 years ago, now I'm like, you know what, man, I'm tired of this, man. I'm just tired of the people and everything. I'm ready to go do something else, Lord. All that led up to this point right here. My God, the God that we serve is powerful. To minister and to preach to one person. And I've already claimed her to the kingdom. So, you know, I pray that y'all pray that and come in agreement with me on that we will see Angela in heaven. It's done. It's done. It's no arguing about it. Whatever she got to go through, and she knows that she's going to go through some things. She said it herself. Everything that I was telling, she already knew. She just needed to hear it from somebody that was legit. That's the crazy thing about it. She just needed to hear it from me. God used me. It could have been anybody else, but he used me, so I'm grateful for that opportunity. But I had to go through my own things too. You see? We want to be used by God, but then we don't want to go through the tough things that we have to go through to be used by God. So here I am. I'm at this hotel, days in. You know, because we figured the RV wasn't going to be fixed. I'm like, the RV, they ain't going to be able to fix the RV in one day. I just had a discerning of the spirit. I'm like, man, we got to get a hotel. You know, I had to pay for the to get the RV towed. These are, you know, all, we say, unexpected expenses. Get the RV towed for the hotel room. You know, different things or whatnot. But you know, God has looked out, and you know, I was not worried and wasn't worried about any of that. You know, so yeah, we're here at the hotel. We're waiting for it to get fixed, and then once that's done, we're gonna be back on the road. If they can't fix it, it's gonna cost more, whatever. Then we're gonna leave, and then we'll come back and get it. But either way, we're gonna make it to our destination. If there are trials and tribulations in the midst of that, then we're gonna deal with them, because it's only gonna make a more powerful testimony. So you have to prepare yourself for whatever. And it's crazy because I was talking to a brother in Christ and also a sister in Christ about these, not specifically that situation, but just dealing with this whole coronavirus thing and what's going to come out of it after the fact. What's, you know, how the world is going to change. And we were talking, and I let it be known, and they let it be known that whatever's required of us, whatever we got to go through, that we were and we are ready. We were and we are ready. And you know, I stood bold on that, and me saying it, and I stand even bolder on it now with what I have, what I went through. And if the Lord has me to go through anything else on this trip, I'm ready, man. I'm ready. And so this is my testimony. This is my story. I thank you for taking the time to listen, and I pray it was edifying for you. I pray it helps you to grow, for your faith to grow and truly trust in the Lord Jesus Christ. You know, it's one thing to just talk about it, but man, you got to really trust. You got to really trust. You got to really have that faith. So let me go ahead and close it out, because I need to go pay for the other room, because we're gonna be here for at least one more night. Check out, it's 11, it's 10:40, but they said I had to pay it by 10, but they'll be all right. They'll be all right. If not, we're gonna call our manager. They're gonna fix it. But yeah, I'm out. I love each and every one of you. Thank you for all your prayers. Thank you for all your support. Those who have supported. God bless each and every one of you in Jesus Christ's name. As always, stay focused for Jesus. Now you know the truth is not debated; it is declared. And once we reach our destination, we talking so fast sometimes. Once we reach our destination and whatever else happens in between that, I'll let you know.